We are so excited to have another fantastic artist from the Rev Nation um, company. She is a singer and she loves the Lord, Miss Angela Bracey. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
Well, thank you. It's so good, great to be here this morning. So
Yes, where are
glad.
you from?
I'm originally from Alexandria, Louisiana, but I live in League City, Texas. That's close to Galveston, about 20 minutes from Galveston.
All right, we got a Southern Saint on here today. We're so glad to have you here.
Well, I got to ask questions.
Here we
If you're
go.
going to say, that you from the South and everything,
Yes.
first of all,
You're going to say,
what church did you grow up in?
Well, I grew up in Pleasant Green, and that was in what we call Woodside. And when I got older with my family, I went to St. Matthew's Baptist Church in Boyce, Louisiana, for
Okay,
about
so
12 years before I moved here.
okay, so you
Yeah.
you 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 one of them Baptists?
Yeah, Baptist sister,
Okay.
yeah.
Now the next question I want to ask, since you Southern, can you
cook.
cook?
I knew that was coming.
Oh, yes, no doubt.
I knew
Okay,
that was
so
coming.
we want to know what your specialty is.
My favorite is I don't know if a lot of people like this dish, but I love meatballs, rice and gravy, candy yams, cornbread, string beans.
Ooh, she's
Okay.
soulful
Mo-
too.
I
so
wanted to
so
hear
yeah.
catfish and fried chicken, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do that too, but that's one of my favorites. But usually people say gumbo, but I'm not a big gumbo fan, but mama taught me how to cook it, so I know what I'm
Mhm.
doing.
See, that's a Louisiana thing.
Yeah, Mama
Yeah.
said, "I'm gonna
Yes.
teach you how to cook
Yeah,
gumbo."
that's a
That's
Louisiana
what
thing.
that's how mama was. Yeah, you
Yes.
had to
Yes,
learn how
yes,
to
yes.
cook.
So when did you start singing? Were you like most of us who started in church, or were you a late starter? How did you get your start in singing? Period.
Exactly. I'll say I was a late starter. When I realized I could sing, I was actually 3. I heard something come out of my voice. My father loved music and it was always played in my house. And it was the first time I saw a microphone and I heard him say something in that microphone. So I started singing the ABC song. But when my parents realized I could sing, I was about 10, 11. They made me get in the choir. I was very shy. I didn't want to. So I didn't sing that much until I got older and had my own family. And I joined the choir, the praise team, and the women's choir, and things like that. So yeah, I was very late. But I always sang. I always sang around the
So,
house, or if I was invited somewhere, I would do that. So
Wow.
yeah.
so you mean you saw the microphone and you got the ABCs and started being anointed with it?
Yeah.
A B C D E F
Yeah.
G. All
Toe it
right.
up. Toe it up.
Yeah. And so let me
Yeah.
ask you this: you say until you got a family of your own. Tell me about yourself. How many kids you got? Who your people is, and all that other good stuff.
I have 4 grown boys. My oldest is he'll be 26 in September. I have a 23-year-old, 21, and the youngest is 17. He'll be 18 in June, about to graduate. Married, been with my husband for about 30 years now. So
Uh,
yeah.
Boy, did you see? She did that too quickly because
She had
she said
four
she
boys.
said
Woo.
4 boys, and then she said she got to the 17-year-old and she said married. When she said that, wait a minute, hold on, the 17 is married, but she
No,
was talking about
No, no, no.
herself.
herself
And
for
myself.
for
You,
for
you
30
know,
for
because
30 plus years.
because I was trying to
30
get it,
plus
man. I
years.
was like saying what,
Right.
you know.
So my question to you is: growing up, who were some of your favorite singers that inspired you?
My grandmother introduced me to Shirley Caesar.
Oh yes.
Um, so, and I'll say that because even though I sang, when you're young, you don't really know what you have. If someone tells you to sing, you sing.
Right.
And both my grandmothers actually always had Bobby Jones Gospel Show on.
Yes.
And I would be playing in the next room with cousins, and she would call me out. And if a great singer was on there, which all of them were great,
Hmm.
she would tell me, "Hey, look at her, listen to her."
Hmm.
And I didn't realize what she was doing until I got older. She was actually kind of nurturing that gift and, having me to watch them and pay attention. And my grandfather on my father's side, he was a singer. He was in a quartet. I didn't know that until I got older, but Every time we were there, if we were upset or crying, he'd break out with a song and our mouths would be open like, and we were just quiet. He had a beautiful voice, so I get it from both sides, actually. Yeah, I
Wow,
was
that's
all
awesome.
around it.
Awesome.
Musicians, all of that. I had uncles in the band, played instruments, so that's in my blood and in my DNA, so I can't help it.
Well, I want to say that, you said you listened to Bobby Jones. Well, I just want to let you know that we got Bobby Dean, here, but we call him Robert Earl because, we're trying to be more formal. But you got Dr. Bobby Dean
I was trying
here,
to figure out who
just
in the
like
world he talking
just
about.
like you got Dr. Bobby Jones. So you done made it to the
Okay.
the Dr. Bobby show, you know. but
Okay.
but let me say this to you. In growing up and in singing and
Mhm.
everything else of that nature, a mother of four boys, as it is.
Yes.
So you got a male household. My
Yeah.
question to you is, when you up cleaning the house, because I know with boys, everything, you got to have some cleaning skills. When you up cleaning the house, I want you to give me a little taste of the song that you sing when you're cleaning the house.
Precious Lord,
Yes.
take my
Uh-huh.
hand, lead me
Because
on.
these boys won't clean
Yeah,
up.
yeah, you some now I have two that are clean, which
Mhm.
is surprising because I always heard boys are not clean.
Right.
But I don't have to tell them to keep their room clean. Is they'll steam clean it, everything is in place. But two of them I kind of gotta stay on them.
Now, are those the two oldest or the two youngest?
It's the oldest and the middle one. The
Okay.
third one, I'll say the third one. But the
Right.
the youngest and the second one, I gotta kind of stay on them.
Okay.
Did,
Okay.
did they serve in the church too in some kind of capacity? Were they drummers? Were they keyboardists? Did they work in the church?
Before we moved, they were some of them were in the choir. My son was taking music lessons with one of the musicians, and he picked it up right away. He knows how to play by ear. One of
Wow.
them plays the guitar. All of them can sing. My oldest son started with the drums. He didn't pick it up. He wants to go to the NBA, and so the youngest as well. They all can sing, but two of them are musicians. They can play instruments. Yeah.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question. It's a rumor, and you can
You
help me.
always got a
You can
rumor.
help me out with it, sister.
Angela, he
Um,
always got a rumor.
Okay.
Sister Angela.
Okay.
You know, uh,
Yes.
there was Gladys Knights in the Pips. Did you
Yeah.
ever think about taking your four sons and making them the Tips?
All the time. All the time. Sometimes I want to go Joe Jackson on them and make them, but
Right.
it's not there. But I will say this: the song that I have, "I Can't Stop Praising You,"
Hmm.
they did the background music for me. So they're not full force in being my band members, but
Right.
they did do the music. And the song that will soon be released sometime this summer, they did the background music, and also with the help of HGTC, which God, no, I think it's God Gets the Glory, HTC, something like that. But
Hmm.
God Gets the Glory production, they kind of brushed it up and polished it up for us. Um, so I thank God for that. They do participate and get involved in that kind of way.
Yeah.
That's important.
They're like, what you
Yeah.
doing, brother, this weekend? Mama gonna make her sing behind her in the studio.
Yeah.
We ain't the Pips, but we the Tips.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that they respect your ministry to want to be a part of it
They
because so
do.
many don't want to be a part of their parents or
And
their,
can
you
and
know.
I'm glad you said that because if I come to them with and I had a video that I did, my son edited the video for I Can't Stop Praising You. So when I do come and ask them, they do kind of have a soft heart for me. They will learn it.
Mhm.
He learned how to edit the video and put the video together.
Wow.
He learned how to do much more with the computer and get in programs, and he learned how to do it not just for me, for himself, because he also wants to do it. So I thank God for that,
Now,
that they
now
Wow.
just
let me
didn't
ask you
turn
this
turn
question.
mama away.
Let me
Yes,
ask you this question. You got four boys, and it
yes,
seems like they're athletically inclined, two that are shooting for the NBA. Tell me,
yeah.
Are you one of them loud parents on the sideline that we gotta look back and say, really now? Really now?
Not as much as my husband. If I do see him dunk or do something, I will stand up and scream and shout. But for me, the most part is I know when my son knows I'm there, he
Mhm.
looks at me, and if he makes a mistake, he looks at me, and that's my cue to let him know it's okay.
That's
And
right.
that encourages him. But my husband does all the yelling and, and screaming.
So is
So,
your husband a coach, or is he one of them parents that is coaching from the stands?
coaching from the stand. They
Oh,
they tried to pull him in to be a assistant coach, but
mhm.
he's kind of busy with me. I'm on the road all the time, so he couldn't commit to it. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you have these young fellas, a house full of men. Who's the most
Mhm.
protective over their mama or their wife? Who's the most protective?
I would say my oldest son is. My oldest is more protective. But I would say all of them are if they see something going on, because
Mhm.
they're real tall. They're like 6'4", 6'3", 6'2". I'm 5'7", so I feel like a midget in the house right now.
Mhm.
Right.
But all of them are, but I have one in particular, the oldest one. He's a Virgo. He has that demeanor. He stands like, don't mess with her.
Right.
But
When
they're all sweet. They're all sweet, humble. Never gave me any real trouble. Just the typical boys.
Right.
Mhm.
Never got a phone call from the principal. None of that kind of stuff.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, I
That
could
is a huge
yeah,
blessing.
I could see it
That
now. When they
what's that?
friends like, your mama cute. Oh, you done made a mistake now. You can't never come over my house again.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And I was that mama, so I think that's why they didn't give me trouble. I'm the one who showed up unexpectedly, looking in the classroom window where they didn't know if I was coming. So
Mhm.
the principal had my number if there was any problem, but he would only call because I had one who was the jokester of the class, but nothing really, really serious. So
she was
I
doing
was that mama.
drive-bys. You was doing
Yeah.
drive-bys. That's what I call them,
Oh yeah, I
drive-bys.
did.
My
Yeah,
mother did them
and
too.
I have a muscle, so don't let it fool you. I didn't play with them, but they are well-rounded
What a
children,
blessing.
and they didn't give me any trouble. Just typical stuff. I'll take the little typical
Yes.
over what goes on today.
Now, now,
Yes.
now, you look like you was one of them mamas that would lay hands on them
Yeah.
if they got out of line,
And the
and
neighbors'
and
kids
because
too.
because they was
Yes. Yes.
maybe
That's
taller
me.
than you had to let them know, don't let the size fool you.
Cause I'll
I
pull
will
you to me.
climb
I'll
Yes.
up
pull
on
you
top to
down or
get you
pull you
down.
to me.
Yes, 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 that's me. And I'm an old school, and I'm a 70s baby, but
Right.
I remember I had all four of them when we go in the grocery store. I had two on each side
You
of the
better not
basket,
touch nothing.
holding the basket. And I would have a little switch because I didn't have to whip them much. I just because it took one or two times, and I show them that switch, and they knew I mean business. One lady asked me, "You have a switch? I haven't seen that in years." I say, "Yes, ma'am."
I had
She's from
mine.
the
Well,
Just
she's
watch it.
from the
that
old school.
Watch it. She said
old
I had
school.
mine's custom made. It's got 3 braids on it, and they understand what it means, and all I gotta
Yes.
Right.
do is reach for it, and
Right.
the atmosphere changes. Praise
Yes.
the Lord.
Exactly.
So let's talk about
Exactly.
this new single or the one we're gonna play
Yeah.
today. Let's talk about that. Did you write this? How did it come up? Let's talk about
Uh,
that.
Actually, I did not write it. My late brother-in-law, Daniel Cofield, out of Baltimore, Maryland. We were in the family for years, but I didn't see Daniel a lot because he was military and he lived way in Baltimore.
Hmm.
And we did not know we carried these gifts until we went on a vacation together. We were talking, and I found out he wrote a lot of music, and he found out I sung songs. And so I didn't want to at first. I know that sounds crazy. I was so skeptical about working with other people. I've been hurt, been burned
Yep.
before. And he kept coming after me, and I kept saying, I'll think about it, I'll pray about it. And finally, it took me about a year or so, and I gave in. He gave me the song, and he told me to do it however I wanted to, whatever I heard. And I heard the upbeat tempo, and he listened to it, and he loved it. He passed away about a year or two ago,
Wow.
about a year ago. So I was hurt by that, but you know, that also pushes me to continue to go on because he motivated and encouraged me to do what I'm doing today.
What a blessing to have
Yeah.
someone work with you that believes in you.
Yeah.
Because in this
Yeah.
industry,
And
people just get
that
paid, but
that
some don't really care.
yeah, and that's what prompted me to go ahead and work with him because he really did care and he was a man of God. Um so yeah. So in honor of him, it's I can't stop praising you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
What a
anointed man.
blessing.
Yeah, I like how
Amen.
she said that. She said he's a man of God. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
said,
Did I
important.
say it
you know,
like that?
That's important, though.
so she got really a man of God. And I said, all
Did
right
I
now.
say it like that, or is he exaggerating?
Right, he's exaggerating, most likely.
So tell me, as you go forth and you do this, how did you hook up with Rev Nation and Denise Tishner?
Wow, that I think that was a divine appointment because whew, when I started, I was like I was kind of scared because I'm like I don't know
Right,
anything, just what my kids had done for me in my home.
right.
And I was like, I don't know where to begin, where to start. And I've heard so many stories on interviews on TV where, people connected with people that hurt them or didn't do right
Yes,
by them.
ma'am.
So, just saying that is just, doing something to my stomach, my gut.
Hmm.
But I searched a guy on Google because I wanted him to master the song and everything and make sure that it was done right and Googled him, and his name was Sam out of California, actually. And after he finished doing what he needed to do, I said, "Well, listen, do you know who can I connect with to help me get this out,
Hmm.
or someone who can help me and guide me and lead me in the right direction?" And he said, "Rev Nation." I wrote it down. I didn't call them right away, and I don't even know why, but I'm still looking, searching,
Hmm.
and I remember looking at this paper and I'm like, Rev Nation, and it had call. And so I finally did it that day and connected with Miss Denise. And she has helped me. And what I love about her, she gives you the knowledge
Yes,
behind the scene.
yes.
And that's what I wanted because a lot of people, failed. It didn't work because they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know
Right,
how to do the back end of it
right.
and what that meant and why are you doing this? And,
Hmm. Hmm.
so I'm so grateful for that. I've had the opportunity to perform for the first time in front of a large crowd besides church.
Right.
We did the Motown show. That was awesome. Doing a few songs, and towards the end, we had church. So she has a heart and she has a passion
Hmm.
for the industry and to help people.
Yes, she
And so
does.
God sent me to the right place.
See, God's
Amen.
Definitely.
timing is important, and we jump ahead
Yeah.
and we
Yes.
do it too soon. We got to trust God and let Him
Yes.
do what He does, y'all.
Well,
And I think that's my and Miss Denise would probably know. We talk about this. We go back and forth,
Hmm.
and she's always telling me that just be patient, Angela. And Angela and Capricorns like to we got so much energy. We're ready to go, and
Yes.
so we have that conversation, and a lot of nuggets she has given me. And when she talks to me, and she helps me to understand
Yes.
why. And I love information. I love for you to feed me
Hmm.
so that I can understand. So I have a whole different perspective.
Hmm.
And so now I understand what I'm doing
The
and why
process.
it takes
The
time. Yes.
process.
well
Yes.
let me ask you this question. I want to deal with one more rumor, and we're gonna finish with this.
Him
Ru-
and these rumors.
Okay.
Rumor has it that when you called Sister Denise up and y'all had your first meeting, she put down her signature biscuits and gravy, cornbread, fried chicken, and some greens. And after y'all had finished eating, you was ready to sign a contract. Is that true or not,
I
Denise?
was.
Okay, I just had to find out if it was true or not.
That
Cause
no, that is absolutely true. That is correct.
Denise can cook.
Huh?
Denise can cook.
I don't know. I know her husband talks about gumbo and things like that, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure she does, but
Right, right.
I don't
And
know. I'm
what I
pretty
love
sure
most
she
about
does.
it, Denise Tishner is our sister, and
Yeah.
I grew up being a fan of hers because she was the first female artist signed to the legendary Tight Scott Records. She
Wow.
was
Awesome.
19 and she's been with Kurt Carr and she's been with Bobby Jones. So this
Yeah.
woman has been in this business for a very, very long time. So she
And, I-
knows.
and I like it
Yes.
that she's a woman of God.
She is a woman of God. Or
He
yes,
reminds me of Tyler Perry.
she has her missionary license out of the Church of God in Grace.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes. So we thank God for the connection, because in this industry
Amen.
there are a lot
Yes.
of wolves in sheep's clothing. And
Yes,
that's
that
the
is so
gospel
true.
side, the secular side, the blues side, the jazz side.
Yes,
It's
Lord.
very
Yes,
important
Lord.
to be led, because people have taken people's money and all that good
Taking
stuff.
them for granted.
Watch
That's
this. And
right.
with Sister Denise, it's not no lace front and everything. She's the sheep of a sheep. And you
Yeah,
can't pull it off, because that's what it's her
that's what you're
DNA.
gonna
She is
find.
an amazing
She's the
person.
real deal.
Amen.
So
Yes, she is.
tell us,
Yes.
how can they find you? How can they connect with you? How can they follow you and your 4 boys and your 1 husband?
I am on Facebook, and they can search my name, which is Angela Bracey, and Bracey is spelled Bracey. And I'm always updating information on my Facebook page. And there's also links on there to get to my Instagram and TikTok page on my Facebook
All
page as
right,
well.
Tiki
Wait.
Talk.
You doing TikTok?
She's tick-a-tocking
I
for
do
Jesus.
TikTok
All right, a
She's
TikTok.
tiki-talking for Jesus.
Well,
sometimes, yeah.
with that being said, can you introduce your new single that we are going to rock here today on God Radio 1?
It's I Can't Stop Praising You. An
Yes.
upbeat song. You can clap to it, listen to it in your car, turn it up, and listen to the beat. It'll motivate you and encourage you and help you to have a great day.
Well, here it
I
is.
can't
Here it
stop
is.
praising you.
For the first time on GOD Radio 1, I Can't Stop Praising You by none other than Angela Bracey, right here on GOD Radio 1.
.com.